majesty. We ask you to be given the right path in all matters of life for happiness in this world and in the hereafter. اللهم يسر لنا أمورنا ولا تعسرها ربنا أتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin amin ya rabbal alamin. Thank you, Brother Bukhari, for the recitation of dua just now, and we hope that may Allah bless this morning session and allow that to go on without any interruption or obstacle, inshallah. Before we move to the most awaiting moment, I would briefly introduce our speaker. So our speaker is T.S. Nur Hanani Ahmad Puaad, and she's from Kulliyah of Engineering at the Department of Mechatronics. So her area of specialization is in Industry Revolution 4.0 data automation. So she graduated in 2017, and right now she is working as technical specialist at Malaysian Smart Factory SHRDC. So some of achievements including she represented Malaysian Smart Factory at the International Smart Factory Summit, Switzerland. Also, she completed multiple proof of concept projects to help small and mid-sized enterprise (SMEs) around Malaysia to advance in IR 4.0. So we are very thankful to our speaker for accepting this invitation and giving us an opportunity to learn from her experiences. So thus, we feel delighted to have an amazing speaker for today's session. And now let's have a glimpse of One Month, One Industry 18.0, Decoding Life After Graduation, Your Playbook to Possibilities. So before I give this floor to the speaker, friendly info here for all of us. Feel free to flood the chat box with any questions or comment or whatever you want to say during this talk. And also for Q&A session, we will also try to read your questions from the chat box. And for the mic, we will open during the Q&A session. All right, so with that, I would like to pass this Microsoft Teams to our speaker. So please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Amiruddin. First of all, I just want to do a quick check. Can everyone hear me clearly, or is there any?
Yes, clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Actually, I think from the very get-go when I joined the teams, the IIUM vibe is already there. And with all the formalities and everything, I think it's bring me back to IIUM, whereby it's been a long time I haven't go back to IIUM and visited the universities. Anyway, good morning to everyone. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Here in Switzerland, I'm actually live from Switzerland. I'm having a work training here for 2 weeks. So here in Switzerland, we are at 4:37 a.m. in the morning. So we haven't even had our subuh yet. Subuh will be at 5+. So most probably the session will ended a bit earlier for me to be able to perform my subuh prayer, and then I have another thing to attend on 7. However, so because of that as well, so I really appreciate for you if you have any questions during the session, feel free to share it in the chat box. So don't wait until the end. So maybe some of the questions that I can address throughout the session, I will address it along the way. All right. So yep. Maybe I can share my screen. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. Oh, okay. So can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me sort out a few things a bit so that I can also see your chat. Okay, so thank you very much for having me, and I would like to thank the community as well for reaching me out. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, the session was planned somewhere in June, okay, last time. And during that time, you guys also was having study week. I was being informed, okay, and during that time I also was not in Malaysia, so this time around I think is a good time to share, and then let us have a two ways communication now, okay, two ways discussion, and it's not just about me sharing. You guys can also share some of your experience, because during my time maybe it's a bit different than your current era now, although I don't think so it differ that much, but yeah, maybe we have some differences in terms of previous KOE or current KOE. I'm not sure how is the current management and so, but yeah, feel free to have a two ways communication. All right. Yep. Okay, so a little bit about myself and how I started, and how I reached at where I am right now. Um, so I finished up my degree in mechatronics engineering in 2017, and I'm not sure, maybe not all of my colleagues also know, but I think it's a good sharing as well. So I was not graduate on time. Okay, so I was not graduate on time. I extend my studies for 1 year and plus. Okay, and I took some study leave period as well because of family. Okay, so after I graduated in mechatronics engineering, I started to join an upskilling and reskilling program, which during that time the program called Expert Craftsmanship in PLC. Why? Because I really like PLC. Okay, I've noticed that during my studies time, some of the subjects I didn't really score, but PLC, it seems to be a smooth sailing for me. So I really like PLC and automation, so I joined an upskilling and reskilling program, because after I graduated, I noticed that I really want to embark in the industry. I have during that time I'm very clear on my goal that I want to embark in the industry. I want to feel, to experience how is it to be working in the industry. So I know that it's difficult to compete against the rest of the graduates. We have graduates from overseas. We have graduates with maybe high pointer. My pointer is not even 3. Okay, you have high achievers and all. So during that time, I asked myself, how am I supposed to embark in the industries in my current conditions? So I end up like joining expert craftsmanship in PLC at SHRDC for 6 months. It's a very intensive 6-month training period, but I think it's worth the wait. It really helps me to speed up in terms of engaging with the industries. And after a few years hopping in different companies, experience different roles, I end up going back to SHRDC as a trainer myself. Because I found that SHRDC is a very good platform for knowledge sharing as well as exploring new technologies. So when I joined SHRDC back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, or 2020, during the COVID period, because during that time, my company, when I worked as automation engineer, they want to send me to Indonesia during COVID time. Yeah, so some of the companies, they don't really even care about your health. What they care is on cash flow only. So I feel like I really care about my health and also my well-being. So I decided to leave the company and not going to Indonesia during that time, because the COVID was at peak time. Okay, And yep, I look for job, and I Alhamdulillah, Allah allows me to work at the SHRDC, and it's also nearby my house. But the unique thing is that when I learned at SHRDC during that time, it was based on automation, which is PLC, as I know. But when I come back as a trainer, the technology during that time was more on, currently we are exploring more on Industrial Revolution 4, digitalization, AI, big data, data science, data analytics, machine learning and stuff. So the trend of the technology is no longer similar than when I when I become a student myself. So it's pretty interesting and amazing to explore new technologies. Okay, so end up I'm part of the technical specialist, and yep, I'm here actually in Switzerland. We are here to help the Swiss Smart Factory. They are conducting training with SIA's master trainer, so we are here to help Swiss Smart Factory to conduct the training. It's a really good experience. Along the way, maybe I can share also how the education model on technical side in Switzerland, which is I think is a really interesting topic to discuss, so that maybe you can also explore those opportunities, and also maybe if we have any management inside, can also implement at the university level, so that we can have a more holistic approach. Okay, so I think enough about myself. Let's go back to the topic. So the topic itself, decoding life after graduation, your playbook to possibilities. Okay, yeah, the name can be a bit catchy. It's AI generated, ChatGPT generated. Anyway, so yes, we need to utilize all the technologies that we have. So the short term or short simple word to put in the topics for today's discussion is, what is next after graduation? Yep, that's basically the most straightforward topics, I would say. So the next steps after graduation is to explore. Okay, there's a few possible route that you guys can take after graduation. But yeah, the first step that you guys already took, which is to attend today's session, is also a really good steps. So I would like to congratulate all those attending today's session for being here. It's also like a first step for you guys. Like usually the business person or marketing person or insurance person, when people ask what is the best time to start, so the best time to start is yesterday. For example, if you're offering like insurance, or you're offering like a marketing, or you're selling something, when is the best time to implement it? It was yesterday. So the second best time is today or now. So congratulations for all of you for attending your second best time. Okay, so yep, as long as there's better late than never. Okay, so it's always good to explore what you can do during graduation, after graduation, because my path after graduation also is a bit different, I would say. So what for me myself, what I did after my graduation, so I started my career actually before I graduated, during my internship period. Okay, or before I talk more about internship, may I know in this group how many coming from engineering background, if I suppose, because I was being informed that this session is an open session. So maybe we can have some hands for those who coming from engineering background, or all not coming from engineering background, so that I can make my sharing a bit more general, I suppose. Any engineering students here? Yes, no? No engineering students. Okay, then we make it a bit more general. Okay, thank you very much. So yep, I started off with my internship period actually. So after I done with my internship period for 3 months, the company actually offered me to do part time job at the company. But during that time, I was at first I was doubting myself as well, whether I have enough time to juggle between FYP, between final year, between working as a part-timer. And during that time, the pay is not that good either. They will just pay me like 50 ringgit per day for supporting them or as a part-time. And basically, it's just an extra headcounts to help them carry robots, carry stuff. But I thought to myself during that time, why not extra experience, right? So at least something that I can write inside my resume later on, even before I graduated. So, yep, I think that is a very it's one step that I think if I were to reverse my life, I would take the same decision. Yep, because having an experience, working experience even before you graduated is also is really important, because nowadays all the industries, they are actually asking for experience level, how many years of experience, how many months of experience, and you are competing against like a pool of graduate students. And in Malaysia, we have a really problem with unemployed graduates. So how we want to actually tap the market is to be able to provide the experience needed by the industry, although it is very small experience or very like insignificant, but as long as it's a working experience, it surely will add up to your resume. Yep. So what is next after graduation? So by right, you should, even if you really want to embark in the industry, so my advice would be to actually started to work in any industries, any field that you think you like, even before you graduated. So of course, the bigger question will be, what is your goal in life? At the end of the day, whatever we do in our daily life, whatever career path that we are looking into or we're heading to, it's all reflect back to your goal in life. What do you want to achieve in life? Whether you want to become an engineer, whether you want to become a lecturer, whether you want to become a businessman, a businesswoman. So what actually that you want to achieve in your life? So everyone, I think each and every one of us need to have a clear vision. Okay, because along the way you will later on face some difficulties, face some challenges, which will make you question back your choices. What are the choices that you took previously? Why am I even here at this particular company, and what's or not? So having a clear goal will help you to actually move forward during your career path. Okay, so yep, I will just share a few options as well. Let me see. Okay. All right, so some of the options that maybe I can share with you all, and maybe some of the other previous speakers, since this one is already 18.0, so previous speakers also maybe already shared some of their experience or insight as well. For me today, maybe I'll just share like three possible options, but yeah, feel free to expand it to more options, and any other options possible. So this option is basically just based on my own experience and some of my friends, my networking experience, which I think it's really interesting to look into. Okay, so first, either you want to further study, which also one of the common route that usually people take. And even I think in IIUM also there's a lot of offers to become RAs and eventually further your studies, even in engineering field. There's a lot of options, engineering departments, there's a lot of options to further your research. Okay, further your research into master maybe, or even PhD. Okay, option number 2, to embark directly into the industry, like what I did, and like I think most of other engineers also wanted to always what's next that they can grasp from the industry. And option number 3 is to basically to do your own business, open a startup, maybe explore some new niche community or from the society. Okay, and in the startup, when we discuss regarding startup after this, I think one of the things that I want to share also, how one of the startup company that we visited yesterday in Switzerland, they actually start off the idea of a startup company from an FYP project, which is, I think, very interesting. Okay, so whoever, who wonders that, FYP project can eventually become a startup product. So it's really interesting, and yeah, maybe we will discuss on that even more detail afterwards. Okay, so let's look into options to further study first. So sometimes I ask some of my friends and even my family members who further their studies, I always ask, what do I need to look into if I want to further my studies? So they always share with me, you always need to have your big why. Why? Because during during degree, okay, usually you will have your friends beside you. You will have your classmates. The pool of students who studied together is much more bigger. So it doesn't feel that lonely. It doesn't feel that stressful. However, as you go further up, as you go even at a higher level, masters or PhD, things will get more and more challenging, I would say. And it will require you to sometimes rethink your options, and to maintain your path or maybe your motivation. You always need to have your big why, because your big why is the thing that you will always go back to. Why I even want to further my studies. So you always need to have your own big why, not your friend's big why. Because sometimes I notice that, okay, people further studies because of their friends, for example, okay, or maybe because of their families. So make sure you have your own big why if you want to further your studies. Okay, for example, in even my family, most of my family members already had their masters. I haven't had my masters yet. I'm planning to, but looking for the right time and also the right big why, so that in case I stumble into any challenges, at least I can always have my big why to come back to as a motivation. Okay, so higher level of education does not promise a better salary. Yes, this is in fact true, especially in an engineering department, engineering industry. Sometimes industry prefer to hire engineers without a master or PhD. Simply why? Because basically companies need to pay less lah. Compared to those with masters and PhD. Sometimes students or graduates with masters and PhD can be a bit demanding in terms of salaries. But yes, it is it's from human point of view, yes, it's logical, because you invest more in your studies, so you expect a greater outcome, maybe a higher salary outcome. However, it works differently in the industry. So how industry views employee nowadays, they actually, Malaysian industry specifically, a very sad truth is that Malaysian industry, they are looking into one person who can actually do a lot of things. For example, if a company want to hire an engineer, maybe that engineer is mechanical graduates, but the company will hire someone who can do mechanical, electrical, drawing, programming, and what's not. So they are looking into multi-skill employee rather than a specialist employee. But the things is a bit different in other developing countries. Even in Switzerland, sometimes when we talk to industries that we went to, they are more into specialist person. For example, if you do like mechanical design, you will do mechanical design for many years until you become a very special or expertise in those areas. But yes, that is not how it is in Malaysia, unfortunately. So yes, how to bridge Malaysian market, how to bridge Malaysian industries is basically to have a multi-skills abilities. but that one, we will talk further after this on the industry topic. But yes, if you look for higher salary, higher education level might not promise that, especially in engineering. Okay. So know your options. Either it is a mixed mode or research based. So when you want to further your studies, okay, usually there's either mixed mode or research based, or maybe some other new options nowadays. I'm not sure, but yeah, always know your options so that whatever path that you take it with a knowledge. You know what you are doing. You know, you're not just like simply following, or because there's an option offered to me, so I just follow. And if you have the opportunity to further study abroad, please do so. Why? Because simply going outside Malaysia or of studying abroad will eventually not just give you the knowledge that you need for that particular area, but also give you the experience of surviving in other countries, and also it will open up your horizons to look into what other people is actually other countries is actually looking into. So if you have the opportunities to further study abroad, yeah, feel free to do so. Even nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, Mara also got some offers in terms of scholarships for those who want to further their studies. If I'm not mistaken, for those who have an age of 35 and below, you can still apply for Mara scholarships. Yep. To further study abroad. Okay, so yeah, that's regarding further study. Okay, road to industry. So how do you want to embark into the industry? For example, if you want to take the second options. So first thing first is, yes, to start early. Start early as possible, as early as possible. Like what I share with you, if you can manage to work even for a part-timer on your final year, so that will also be helpful inside your resume, whereby you can add up your work experience inside your resume after you graduated. Another option is to do upskilling and reskilling. So upskilling and reskilling is also an important factor. Why? Because just now I mentioned about how Malaysian industries is actually looking into multi-skills abilities. So sometimes people with only one skill or one area of expertise, it's a bit difficult to find a job in the industry compared to those who with multi abilities. And even nowadays, with the development of the technology, the AI coming in and all, so people are actually looking for one solution that can like do a lot of things. Okay, so and some of the platform is actually a software based, or you can even self learn it. One of the things that I usually advise my interns sometimes, okay, and even some of the peers, or maybe some of my networkings who ask for tips, I would say, well, add up your skills. So rather than having just one skill, you can like add up your skills into multi-skills abilities, so that you have more to offer to the industries. Even for me myself, graduate from mechatronics, which originally is an automation field. So I need to like pick up the data analytics as well, pick up the machine learning as well, and I think the data automations areas, and even now I'm currently starting my journey to learn AI as well. Okay, because of the demand of the market. So there's no actually limit age in terms of learning and exploring. If, for example, you guys think that, okay, after universities, I want to go into the industries because I'm tired of learning, yeah, you will not get that, because learning is a lifelong process. So you will never stop learning, and it will just be a start of the learning journey. Even if you embark, once you really go into the industry, you even need to learn more and more. I'm not sure if my interns is in the chat or watching it. I also forward this session to my interns. So my interns currently doing degree in one of the local universities. So the same thing that I also pitch to them, which is to learn, study, explore as much as possible. Learning is always a journey, right? So yep, upskilling and reskilling is really important, because sometimes we also never know whether the skill that we learn at the university level, is it still relevant or not to the current industrial demand. The third one is to trust the process. Why I mentioned trust the process? Because a lot of graduates, or maybe undergrad students, or even diploma students that sometimes come to our center, our training center, they end up looking at Grab food or Panda food or any YouTuber, TikTokers as an options for career. Okay, but the truth is, it's actually not considered as a career. Yes, it will give you a nice amount of money. Okay, sometimes people will say, okay, better for me to do Grabs or Food Panda rather than going for upskilling and reskilling. Okay, the maybe the allowance is not that high, or even maybe if I start off my first job at any company, they will pay me like a low salary compared to if I do some Grab or Food Panda. I'm not saying that doing Grab and Food Panda is wrong. It's a good thing. It's a good contribution to the ecosystem. However, if you really want to be in the career path, the industries, you need to start from the very beginning. In having a food delivery or non-related job inside your resume will not help that much in terms of helping you to grow in your career path. So trust the process. Start slow. Start at the very beginning. But eventually you will go there. You will reach at the point whereby you feel comfortable with your job. You will feel that you can demand, because sometimes people entering the industries, after a few months they will start to demand things. Okay, I want this and I want that. Why I can't have that? Why I can't have this? But actually, the process is still not matured yet. You still need to prove yourself that you're worth of what you're demanding for. So and even some of my previous students, they start off with internship, yes, and then maybe they start with like technician job, whereby the pay is not that high, but through that technician job, over the years, he ended up now becoming an engineer and a technical specialist as well. So yep, the process is really important, because that's what will build up your experience. Okay. Last but not least is to know your strength and interest. Okay, why is it important to know your strength and interest? Because when you do your job or your task, it's a day-to-day task. You're actually facing that job, like 8 hours per day, how many hours per week, and how many hours per month. It's like literally taking more than half a day of your life. I mean, more than half of your life will be doing that job. So in order to excel in any job, you must love your job. I would say you must love your job. So sometimes there are cases whereby after a few years you cannot really do what you love, because you already start off with the wrong foot or wrong path. So if you really, for example, if you're really into AI, start exploring AI even from now. If you really want to become an automation engineer, make sure each step that you take from your career path is actually contributing or relate to automation engineer. because it's your strength and also your interest. So although maybe you didn't see it now, but along the way you will eventually go there. For example, during my upskilling and reskilling program at SHRDC for 6 months. So three months of the period we need to attach to a factory. So during that time I was attached to Marilyn Motori, an Italian company whereby they assemble motor parts. Okay, they assemble motor parts. However, at that time I don't feel that that task or that job will eventually help me to build up my career. So because as an assistant planner during that time, they assigned me, during the interview they told me that they want to give me automation engineer position, but after a while they give me assistant planner because they have like vacancy there. So I just do my daily tasks with a mindset of, yes, I want to learn, I need to learn whatever things that I can learn from the industries, from whatever position that they gave me. So after 1 month and 2, I started to visualize how to automate the process that I do on day-to-day basis, because I love automation. So yep, I'm doing non-automation tasks. So after a while I say, okay, why not we automate the process? So, and I discuss it with a higher management. But during that time, and I got a proper offer of automation engineer at some other companies. So yeah, I didn't really even finish the task. But yeah, the thing is, yep, you need to know your interest and your strength in order to excel in your job. Okay. I'm finance students, but really, okay, I'm just addressing the question here. Okay. Muhammad Bahari, okay. Do you have okay, I'm a finance student, but really into data analytics. May I know the available platform provide hands-on workshop, because I can't really catch up, learn it online. Okay. Let me see. Yep, it's a good question, and I think it's a correct time that I share. Okay, so from SHRDC, we actually from time to time have a funded program whereby graduates can actually join our program and get funded by some of the funder. Okay, although yes, there's a few requirement as well. Okay, for example, the one that I show currently it's a AI and machine learning upskilling and reskilling program. So the entry requirement must be Bumi Putra or Malaysian, age 20 to 26 years old, a diploma or bachelor degree in computer science, software engineering, mechatronics, or even for example, Buhari is not coming from any of the written it's not coming from any of the written area. You can just apply. I would say, yep, just try, because we can never know where is our rezeki has been provided by or determined by Allah SWT. So just apply, no harm applying. Okay. Even sometimes I would say, even if your CGPA is not is as written on the entry requirement, you can just try. Okay. So yeah, this is one of the program that we have. Okay, how our program will run is, we have a hands-on face-to-face program. We also have an online program. Okay, so depending on the topic and the program as well, I think it will be an online program. But however, it will not be just a self-paced learning AI. It will be a guided learning whereby you need to, or the students, the participants of our program usually need to clock in every day, like 9 to 5 daily basis. And there will be like interaction in the session, like what we do currently. We will be using Teams and all. So the learning, although it will be still online, but it will be more interactive and guided, I would say. Yeah. So this is one of the program that we're currently offering, and we're looking for participants or fresh graduates or students. Another program that we also currently offering for fresh graduates, this one is a technician development program for IR4, because nowadays government have a certain initiative or incentive for companies who want to embark into Industrial Revolution 4. Therefore, the companies need to find technician and engineers to actually map with the requirement from the government. So, yep, this is one of the also the program that we offer. Okay, but feel free to drop by our website. We also have more programs to offer from time to time. And since you're asking about data analytics, maybe I can share one interesting platform on data analytics. Let me see. Okay, I'm not sure if Bukhari already know about this platform. It's called NIME. Okay, NIME is actually a very interesting platform to start off with data analytics. Why? Because it is a drag and drop platform. Even for those who don't have or don't know anything about programming or don't have any strong background regarding programming, they can just start to explore using NIME. NIME, they have their headquarters in Switzerland as well. Okay, so and NIME, I would say maybe I can share you some software. It's actually an open source, meaning that even from now on, you can go to the website and download, install, and start using it for free. So yeah, a lot of platforms that offer free softwares whereby you can explore. Let me just show you some images. Yep, this is how NIME works. It's a drag and drop, or we call it as low code or no code programming. Okay, so you can explore if for example you don't have prior knowledge to programming, or you're coming from any other background, but if you're interested in data analytics, and this platform can even do up until data science or deep learning. So it's a really powerful tool, and you can download it for free from this link. Okay, you can just fill in the field. And one more interesting thing is that NIME have its own learning platform. So you can actually self-learn, and you can actually get a certificate for free using NIME without the need to enter any program, and you can include it in your resume. So for example, learn and get certified. Okay, NIME have 4 different level of competency or certification. I took it like last time, level 1 until level 4. But if you even want to take the level 1, is still free and open. So you can self-learn using NIME, install the software for free using NIME, and once you're ready, you can take the certification, and you can get the certification in data analytics using NIME, and put it inside your resume. So yeah, this one is just one example. There's a lot of different open source platform that you can explore from any other areas as well that you're interested on. So thank you very much, Buhari, for the questions. Anyone else have any questions, feel free to drop by or drop it in the chat. So along the way, I will try to address as well. Okay, so next we want to look into the options. Okay, for example, yeah, just now is some of the open source, free short courses. Okay, so if you want to upskill and reskill yourself, first you can also you can go to free short courses like what I show to you. Okay, there's also a lot of free training initiatives. Okay, let me show you some of the free training initiatives. Okay, can you see the MIDEC? Yeah, I think this one is from My Future Jobs. So actually there's a lot of initiatives given by the government to help upskilling and reskilling, not just the fresh graduates, even for those who is unemployed, looking for jobs after being unemployed for a few years after graduation. So this is all. This is some of the things that My Future Jobs have to offer. Okay, Microsoft Global Skill Initiative. So Microsoft also have some collaboration and initiative with some of the companies to help upskilling and reskilling Malaysian Malaysian graduates. Okay, so maybe I can just share this link, or you can just go to myfuturejobs.government.mine. Okay, and then navigate to upskilling and reskilling. And if you click at the banner here, it will bring you to basically a form whereby you can fill in your names and everything. Okay, and they will help to match your background and what are the skills that maybe suits for you. You can even search on your own. For example, this is all like Cloud Swift, one funded program by Microsoft and Cloud Swift. MDEC also offered a program. HRDC also offered some program. UNITA University. So this is all a lot of like reskilling and upskilling program from different companies. So actually, these companies they get some incentive or funding from the government to do this such upskilling and reskilling program. So if us or if the graduates didn't like utilize it, I think it would be a waste as well. So might as well explore the possibilities that we have and try to apply to get like extra skills for free. And some of the program they even give you allowance, like our program also we offer some allowance to the participants. Okay, so this is also one of the options whereby you can scroll and explore what are the skills that what are the upskilling and reskilling of programs that offer for free. Okay. All right, so the third one we want to look into is about business startup. Okay, how to start this business. For example, I don't want to go into the industry. I also don't want to further my studies. I want to start a business. It's also one of the good thing to do, which is to explore the business or start your own business. Because when you start your own business or you open a startup, you're actually offering more job opportunities to the other graduates or the other unemployed. Okay, you're opening a job market, a new job market. So I think it's also very useful and it will contribute to the overall our country's performance as well in terms of employability. But what there are a few things to look into when you want to start a business. First of all, you need to understand the niche of the market. So what is the market demand? So because when you want to start a business, you are actually offering a product. So does the community or does the people actually need the product? So this also you need to like explore and look into. Sometimes the niche of the market no need to be something sophisticated, no need to be something new. It can just be an improved version of what current version that you have. For example, one of the startup company that we went in Switzerland that I mentioned earlier, that they start off their startup based on FYP project, which is very interesting. And when they want to build or when they want to identify their product, they also look into the current market. For example, they actually provide selling AR, augmented reality glasses, something like HoloLens or Google Glass, something like that. But they look into the niche of the market. They go into the user perspective. What are the items or the things that, based on the current product that's available in the market, that the user is not that happy about? Okay, so they just do things that already exist, which is improvised on the AR market or AR quality, augmented reality quality. So identifying the niche of the market does not need to be something new or something bombastic. It can really be an improved version of something that already being used in the market. Number two, find your opportunities or your funder. There's a lot of, I'm not sure about Malaysian, but the startup company that we went yesterday, they share a lot of funder that coming from the government initiative, which is good, I think. Eventually, if you cannot find anything that is government related funding, you can also go to any like big companies and ask whether they are willing to invest in your project. So as long as you can convince them, I think, I mean, the possibilities or the chances will always be there. Next is to become a risk taker. So when you start a business, there surely be like an ups and down, and having a mindset of a risk taker is really important, because sometimes, even I think everyone well known about Khairul Amin punya business stories, and a lot of other influencers business stories, how they actually encounter a lot of difficulties before they even reach at a very stable level where they are right now. And last one is to know your business partners, because a lot of businesses also end up as a failed business because of a business partner is not having a good business partner or understanding business partner, or even your business partner at the end of the day betrayed you. So yeah, it's really important to find a correct partner in your business who have the right visionaries to, okay. Yep. But on top of all, on top of either you want to further your study, you want to embark in an industry, or you want to start a business, the most important thing is to have a correct attitude. So attitude is really a big thing in the industry. Okay, why? Especially in Japanese company. Japanese company, they don't really look into your skill that much. Okay, however, they look into your attitude. How willing are you to learn new things? Maybe how passionate you are in solving problems. Okay, so a bit on attitude, what I can share maybe. Okay, so is to learn. Maybe I can share a bit. Okay, first is to explore. So attitude is a game changer. Oh, sorry. Yeah, attitude is a game changer. Okay, whereby sometimes you are competing with top-notch graduate from the overseas. As long as you have a correct attitude, you will have a better chances to sit in that particular position. Yep. And one of the things that I always say to my interns as well, or maybe someone who asking for any advice, is to have an attitude to explore, because we can never know what the industries has to offer, what the world has to offer, even so you need to have the attitude to always explore new things, learn new things, be humble, because once you become humble, then it's allow you to learn and explore new things. Okay, because we can never be in a state whereby we know everything already. All right. Be responsible of your duty, of your task, even if it's a small task. If you take responsibility out of it, it will portray a good attitude. Be proactive. This proactive thing is a really, I think, especially Malaysian need to improve on this. Okay, we are competing against a lot of other more proactive workers or employees. Okay, so Malaysian need to be proactive, right? Try and don't give up. So one of the things that I even bring until now, one of the advice from my previous Japanese manager. So previously I worked at one of the Japanese company. So my Japanese manager always said, cannot say don't know, must thinking. That's what he always said to us. He said, when you want to come to him and ask something, he said, cannot say don't know, must thinking. So you cannot come to him with an empty, just a question saying that, boss, I don't know this, I don't know that. You must come to him with some facts that you already research on. So even though you are asking questions from your senior, for example, senior engineer or stuff, you're asking question after you did some research. So you think first before you even ask something. Okay, so you try and not to give up on stuff. Okay, and last but not least is to have a good discipline, because attitude can be a game changer. I had a friend whereby the company that I worked with before, my colleague, they sacked my colleague just because he like didn't come on time. Even the smallest thing that maybe it's not significant to us, but things will get more serious and more prominent in the industry compared to during study time. So for example, if you're doing your degree, sometimes if you're late a bit, your lecturer still be okay. But yeah, in industries, if you're late, then it will be your notice, your final notice, okay, before they set you off. So that's how strict industry can be. So discipline is really important. Even if you further your studies, discipline is also important. Even if you open your own business, you also need to be disciplined, so that your business will grow. Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that I would like to share as well, whenever you embark in the industry, it's really good for you to have some core verse that you hold. Okay, the core verse can be can come from any Quranic verses. It can also be from any hadith. Okay, why we need this core verse? Okay, because during when we want to walk through our path in the industry or even in life, we will eventually stumble into challenges. We will have our own, each and every one of us will have our own downfall. We will have our own period whereby we feel like it's the end of the world, for example. Okay, so these core verses that will help us to stand back on our feet and move forward regardless of the challenges that we had. So my core verse that I hold upon during my degree time up until now is from Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286. Okay, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. Okay, so in this verse, Allah said that La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. On no soul will Allah put a responsibility or a burden more than what it can be bear or beyond its his capacity. So even from the very early of the verse, we know that whatever challenges that Allah has planned for us, it's something that we can actually encounter. Okay, because it's a challenge. It's a challenges. It's actually a reminder for us to go back to our Creator, who give the challenges. Okay, right? Because sometimes when we are in the industries, we happen to link with a lot of worldly matters. Even now, so you're. I mean, currently myself, I'm not even in a Muslim country. So whenever I join the teams meeting with all the recitation and everything, it bring me back to the we call it a bi'ah solehah that we have in IIUM, which is very good. But you don't have that like in everywhere, or even when you work later on. So the bi'ah solehah will not be always be there. So you need to have your core verses with you wherever you go. Okay. And one more thing that I would like to share as well is one quote quote from Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, okay, whereby he quote that this dunya is like a shadow. If you try to catch it, you will never be able to do so. If you turn your back towards it, it has no choice but to follow you. In other words, when you want to craft your career path, don't aim for the career. Don't aim to become a doctor. Don't aim to become someone, some influencer. Don't aim to become an engineer. But what you aim is to please Allah. What you aim is to help people. Then if you have a correct niyat when you want to craft your career path, when you have the correct intention which lead you to the akhirah, then the dunya will come to you. But if you chase the dunya will not come to you. Okay? It will be more difficult for you. Okay? But if you chase akhirah, then the dunya will come to you. It's not that we want the dunya, it's just that after certain point, you will feel that you don't even want the dunya. Okay? Even though it's coming to you. Because you will be content with the love of Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So anywhere you go, and I will say for those who currently studying in IIUM, it's already being a blessed. You guys have a strong foundations of Islamic understandings, whereby you can bring this understanding wherever you go in your career, future career. Okay, but even not coming from any IIUM background, as a Muslim yourself, always bring your religion, your Quran, your Sunnah, anywhere you go in your career path, because this is what will help you throughout your difficulties in your career. Okay, even now, this month is a month of Rabiul Awal. It's a month of Maulidur Rasul, the birth of our Prophet. So anywhere you go, any career path that you lead, you are the spokesperson of Islam, I would say. Yep. So even now in Switzerland, we are trying to do Jamaah prayer every time we can, so that people will know Islam better. Okay. So yep, each and every one of you is a Khalifa, whereby we need to bring Islam wherever we go in any career or any field that we are doing. Even if you're doing like data analytics, how you want to become a good Muslim data analytics. If you are becoming an engineer, how you want to become a good Muslim engineer. If you become maybe a teacher or a lecturer, how you want to be a good Muslim lecturer or good Muslim engineers. Not because of the career that much, but the end goal of your career must come back to Allah and the Prophet. And that will help you a lot in your life, actually, not even just your career. So yeah, I think that's wrap up my presentation, more or less. Thank you very much for lending your ears. Sorry if it's a bit like boring, and I think it's just be like one way discussion. Unless you have more questions to ask. Yep, I open the floor for any questions, if there's any. Yep. Sophia binti Amir. Yep.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay. This question, someone gave to me. Nowadays, people do argue about the Gen Z in terms of their behavior at work and mental strength. I mean, like when sometimes we how can I say that? In Malay term, taraf untuk kita tengok dorang bekerja. I mean, orang yang Gen yang sebelum ni dia akan cakap Gen Z ni diorang ni lemah lah macam ni sebab not too hard when masa dorang masih kecil. So what's your comment, and how can we as a Gen Z to handle it? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your question. First of all, it's a really interesting question, and second of all, there's no such thing as wrong questions. So, if you have any questions, don't have a second thoughts, just ask. So, uh, Gen Z, okay, interesting topic. People have a stigma that Gen Z can be a bit like how do you say just now? Just now the question was macam mana orang fikir Gen Z ni macam tak apa tadi? Your term just now was
Tak sekuat macam Zen yang sebelum ni lah.
I see. Okay, I will say prove that in your resume or in your work ethic or in your action, because action speaks louder than words. People can say anything that they want, but you need to prove it otherwise. So meaning that if what people can say a lot of different things, take it as a challenge. Okay, don't be controlled by people perspective towards you. Right? So you are the one who shape yourself. You are the one who determine who you are. So not other people. So regardless what other people say about Gen Z and everything, it's just a stigma, but you are the one who need to prove it otherwise, because action speaks louder than words. Maybe put an extra effort in terms of studying or preparing. Okay, just to share with you all, when I applying for my position as automation engineer, during that time was back in I think 2000 graduate 7 6 2008 when end of 2007 I want to apply as an automation engineer, and during that time the company said, do you know robots? Honestly, I already forgot all the robots thing that I learned during universities at that time, but I say yes, I can try. So what I did was I asked my lecturer. During that time I already graduated. I asked my lecturer, can I come back to the Kulliyah to like practice some robots things so that I can prepare for my interview. So yeah, basically I'm not saying no to anything, but I will try first. So I think that's also something that you can try to look into. If people say, can you do something, can you do this, can you do this, can you do that, don't put a quick judgment that okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. It's a definite full stop one. Okay, but you say, okay, I can try, I can look into it first. And if, for example, people are asking for 100% and try to give 110% or 200%, try to give more than what people, especially your future employee ask for. And actually, this one is not just because of work. I mean, don't do it for work. Don't do it for your bosses. You won't get any, I mean, other than worldly matters. Do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because as a Muslim, you need to do things full-heartedly, okay, because it is an amanah. So you need to do things like, you need to try your best, even if you're doing your job, day-to-day job, or any part-time job, you do it like really fully heartedly, not because of just the salary or to get a higher rank or anything. It because it's your responsibility as a Muslim. It's an amanah. The job is it's an amanah for you to actually do it. Like so I think Gen Z or not Gen Z, it's the matter of how do you look into yourself. Don't get affected by the stigma, the mentality. Always prove otherwise, as action speaks louder than words. I hope that answers your questions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions from the floor? Yes.
I have a question. As you said earlier, the industry will hire employee with lower education level because they expect to pay less salary. So, do you think degrees graduated should pursue their study to higher level in country or just start working, especially for them that don't get offer to pursue study abroad?
Okay, thank you very much for the question. My answer will be, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a lecturer? If you want to really further studies, make sure you further studies up until the highest level that you can possibly go. If you want to become an engineer, so make sure you become like the best engineer that you can be. If you want to become a manager, then become the best version that you want to be. So if you want to further studies, just because you don't get any position in the industries or you don't get any position to further your studies abroad, it's not a good big why, I would say. Because you need to have like a purpose when you want to further something. Okay, if you want to really study abroad, but you don't have the opportunity just yet, but you really want to, then you can start local, or you can also further find a job first, then further study later. Because when you want to further study abroad, age doesn't really matter. Yeah, I my family members, they further their master with 2 kids, so it's also quite a year after they finish their degree. So yeah, age won't be an issue. It's just that the question is why you take that path. If you want to take the industrial path, you need to have a solid reason behind it. If you want to take the education path, you need to have a solid reason behind it. Don't take a path just because the path that you want originally is not available. Because sometimes the path is not that straightforward. For example, I want to become an engineer, I just do my resume and then I go and apply for engineering position. No, it will not work that way. Honestly, and the bitter truth is it won't work that way. How you want to become, for example, for engineering graduate, how do you want to become an engineer? You need to climb the ladder steps by steps. Like I mentioned earlier, gain some experience. Even if you need to start with a technician, not an engineer directly, it's also fine. It's also an experience. Or maybe you can go for upskilling or reskilling. But as long as the small steps that you take is actually contributing to the ladder that you want to achieve, rather than climbing one ladder just because the other ladder is not available just yet. So I don't think so that's a correct path to go. Okay, if you really want something, then craft your way to that path. Not because some other path is not available. Okay, so for the person who asked questions just now, my question would be, what do you want to be? Do you really want to go into the academic level, or do you really want to go to the industrial level? If you really want to go to the academic level, then you can try to further study locally, okay, and then do some collaborative research. For example, collaborative research, when you already have like a position, or maybe you already have you already further study locally, you can talk to your supervisor, maybe some of the collaborative research that you can do at some universities outside Malaysia, maybe. So it start off with a collaborative research. At the end of the day, maybe you can go there and further your PhD at the university, who knows. So it will be like step by step. It's not like directly, it's not that direct sometimes. Yep. Hopefully that answers your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other question from the floor? Yep.
Assalamualaikum. I
Waalaikumsalam
want to ask, in the industry, may I know the art of diffusing something? I know we need to try our best to do something, but in case the bullying, from other colleagues. So how to, like, we refuse to do, like we may have overloaded work. So how to refuse?
I see. The art of saying no.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's a very good question. The art of saying no. Okay. Sometimes you are overloaded, or sometimes some person is overloaded because you are the only one who know how to do it. Sometimes. Okay, that's one scenario. Okay, one way of doing it is to teach or to share the knowledge or share the skills with other employees or other colleagues, so that other people can also support you on that. You will not just, or maybe my boss usually said, the art of delegating tasks. Okay, actually sometimes when your boss give you extra workload, it's actually a sign that he trusts you. It can be one sign, okay, that he trusts you. Okay, that's why he is giving you more workload, because he trusts the quality of the job that you deliver. Okay, so one way what you can do is you can train your other colleagues to execute or to have a similar quality or even better quality of the task, so that whenever the next time your boss give you the task, you can say, I already have a lot on my plate, and why don't you can recommend, you can suggest to your boss, okay, why don't you give this task to this person. I mean, he or she work, his work quality or her work quality is already up to par level, or maybe, yeah, basically you need to share your skills and your knowledge to others, so that others can also pick up your task. Okay, that's one thing. There's also cases whereby you are flooded with tasks or jobs that is non-related to your job description. Okay, I had this one boss in one of my companies that I worked before. That we have this boss lady who sometimes asks us to buy nasi lemak, nasi tengah hari for her. You are already have your own like job description and your own duties, which is never ending duties. On top of that, you need to do like a lot of non-significant tasks. Yeah, non-related tasks. So if non-related tasks, what you can do is you can try to talk properly to that person. Sorry, I have this task and that task. Maybe you can ask some other people, or maybe you can give side solution, or maybe you can grab, you can give the solutions basically, because sometimes not everyone can see the solutions. Like you can not like how you can see solutions. So especially from engineering perspective, engineers are problem solvers. So by hook or by crook, engineers, I mean, need to have a problem solver mindset or heads. So it can be any problem solver. It can be like as simple as food delivery for lunch problem solver, or any other problem solver. So sometimes we don't refuse it directly. We're not like directly say no, but we give options, we give solutions for them to take instead of giving the task to us. It's either diverging the task to some other colleague that can execute the same quality, or you can give other related alternative. Basically the key is to give solutions instead of just saying no. We give them alternatives. Yeah. So I hope that answer your questions.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. In case you have like specific bullying, or maybe you can, if you have like a use case scenario or experience you want to share, maybe we can discuss even further, because bullying can be a lot of things. It's either your boss bullying you, or your peers or your colleague bullying you, or your subordinate bullying you. So depends on the situation. Yep. Thank you very much for the question. So any other question from the floor?
Okay, while waiting, I also have a question. In the beginning of the talk, you mentioned that you actually not graduating on time. So I would like to ask how you handle the feeling, like the pressure from the surrounding when you like don't graduate together with your friends. That maybe that would sometimes cause the change to our big why. Sometimes because not graduating together with friends. But maybe you can share a little bit on that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So you're opening one of my chamber chamber of secret. But yeah, actually, it's a really interesting journey that Allah has put me into, which I would say I am really thankful of that journey. Okay, when you're not graduating on time, yes, you're facing with um peer pressure, family pressure, surroundings pressure, even your junior pressure, because you're sitting in a class with basically your juniors. And yeah, you're graduating with your juniors, and I believe in UIA you have this batch centric is a very strong one, whereby okay, this one is a batch photos and everything. And yes, I'm not in those kind of photos because I'm not my batch has long gone and graduated and everything. um but one thing that I learned throughout this journey, I would say during that time, it puts me in a position whereby I have no other options than to look into him. Because sometimes if you have your friends beside you, you will tend to depend on them. But when you have nobody else, no one else to depend to, yeah, Allah opened me to a new version of a new views to only depend on him basically. Yeah, I have my ups and downs during that period, and I still remember I have this one friend, this two of us. And during that, after that study period, it like pushes me to change my study style, because all this while, my study style is different. So when the situation is different, then I need to change and adapt to different study styles. And this different study style has led me to know him better. Okay. And you, yeah, like I mentioned, you end up depending on him better, the creator better, rather than your friends. And I think that also helped me to be who I am today. Because when you start your career path, you no longer will have, okay, you will have friends, but you will need to deal with your own bosses, your own challenges, your own things on your own plate. It's just you and your God, your creator. So I would say the hikmah comes later, but the hikmah will surely be there. I mean, if you ask me to whether I have any regrets, I would say no regrets. And even I'm very thankful of the path that Allah has put me into, that allows me to become um, a better servant of him, so that I can be more dependent to him rather than to human being. And that's also one of the key things that allow me to further my career up until today. And now, whenever anything that happens, you can always go back to the creator, you can always go back to Allah. You know that even though everyone is leaving you, everyone is turning their back onto you, you will still have Allah the creator and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So yep, I guess that's the hikmah. And like I mentioned in my slide, trust the process. If Allah put you in that particular position, there must be something that will be beneficial. It's either sooner or later. Every situation that any humankind went through is actually the situation was made by Allah for a reason. Yeah. Okay, so yep. Any more question from the floor? Maybe any last questions? So it's already subuh now in Switzerland. Yeah. Question 1, question 2, question 3. So anyways, feel free to, if you have any further questions, you can always DM me inside my LinkedIn. You can find me in LinkedIn. I'm always happy to help, even for the data analytics. So last time we even had a student from Canada, I guess. Yeah, that student emailed me and DM me from inside LinkedIn to ask questions regarding NIME. So yeah, if I have time, I'm happy to attend to your questions and share any knowledge, and maybe your side as well can share any of your experience later in the future. So I guess that's all for me this morning, and all the good things is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I'm sorry for any inconvenience from my side. Thank you very much for lending your ears. I pass back the floor to our Master of Ceremony for today. Thank you very much, Amiruddin.
All right. So Alhamdulillah, and again, thank you very much to our speaker for I think good sharing, and also the audience for throwing or giving a lot of questions from different perspective and different I can say level. So Alhamdulillah, we actually reached the end of the program. So as I said before, first we will be having a photography session. So I will give you guys time, like maybe 30 seconds, to prepare yourselves, and those who want to open camera and do some filtering or whatever. Okay, can do it. And also, while we wait, I would like to remind that please do not forget to fill in the attendance form. Okay, and the feedback, so that we can improve this program in the future. Right, so 10 seconds before the photography. This will be just like a screenshot only, but you guys can now turn on your camera. Okay, 5 seconds. Okay, so when I say 1, 2, 3, the committee will screenshot. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. So all right. So again, do not forget to fill in the attendance form so that your attendance will be recorded, and for the Starpoints. And also, if you are interested, to become part of this committee for our upcoming program of one month, one industry, maybe 19, 20, 21, or who knows until where, like until how many we can do. But if you guys want to join, so feel free to become the SITC family. The link will be shared. Okay, so SITC is a club and the Office of Industrial Links, and we actually, I think most people will come to oil based on my experience for internship, but we have a lot of things such as this program, 1 month in one industry. Okay, so feel free to join, and glad to have you guys here. So again, we actually, not we, but our speaker will have the super prayer. So we'll again say thanks to her for coming and for spending the time with us, and also hope we can see, maybe we can meet again in other program, or maybe another event one day. So with that, I would like to conclude this event. And again, from us, we would like to apologize for any inconvenient cost, maybe directly or indirectly. So again, thanks everyone for coming from Microsoft Teams, from YouTube Live. So inshallah, if we have, maybe we can meet again later on, right? So with that, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you very much.